I want to say hello to my fellow classmates. My name is Paul Walker. Welcome to my PowerPoint presentation entitled Windows 8, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Tolerate the Start Screen. Windows 8. New and improved? A lot of people don't think so. Windows 8 was released in late 2012 to less than favorable reviews. The biggest complaint that people had was the missing Start button. The Start button and Start menu had been a part of Windows since Windows 95. To replace the Start button, Microsoft introduced the Start screen. The purpose of the Start screen is to access apps, system tools, and pretty much all the installed programs that are on a computer. Speaking of apps, two of my favorites are Dropbox and Flipboard. Where's the button? The missing Start button did not go over well at all with longtime Windows users. They didn't like the fact that the Start button that they had been used to using for almost 20 years was suddenly being replaced by this Start screen. With the initial release of Windows 8, every time you turned on your computer, it booted straight to the Start screen, which infuriated people even more because they couldn't get away from it. But with the release of Windows 8.1 update, Microsoft included an option to boot straight to the desktop. It's pretty clear that the Start screen was designed for tablets and touchscreen PCs, as its interface just lends itself more to those technologies. And at times, it can really feel like the Start screen was just tacked on to Windows 8 as an afterthought. There are two parts to the new Start screen. The first page is for frequently used items, such as apps and folders, and you can even save your favorite websites to it, as long as it's done through Internet Explorer. The page is very customizable. All the tiles can be moved and resized. Some of the tiles are live, which means they're constantly updated, such as news, weather, the Windows Store app, and others such as your mail and your social media sites. The second page provides shortcuts to all the installed apps and programs. It's a lot like a full-screen version of the old Start menu. However, it can look very cluttered and a bit confusing. Luckily, Microsoft has included a few different ways of arranging the shortcuts to make them more manageable. You can arrange them alphabetically, by date installed, by most used, and by category. I found that at times I have to rearrange them differently in order to find what I'm looking for. Luckily, Microsoft saw this as a problem and included a new search feature as part of the Start screen. It can be accessed quickly simply by typing at any time while on either part of the Start screen. It's very simple but a very powerful feature. It allows you to easily find any file, folder, or app on your hard drive. It's also a convenient way to do a quick web search. As you can see to the right, just typing DR brought up the Dropbox app, the Dropbox folder, and a couple of other system tools. And at the bottom, there's even some web search suggestions. With the release of Windows 8.1, Microsoft attempted to appease their critics. They added a Start button similar to the old Start button to the bottom left to send you directly to the Start screen. It was not the fix that people were looking for. As a matter of fact, there was already a button on the keyboard to do just that. Right-clicking the new Start button reveals a new Start menu, which doesn't have nearly the usefulness of the old Start menu. You can also access this menu by pressing the Windows button and X at the same time. This menu gives you access to the control panel, the task manager, device manager, command prompt, and a few other system tools, including the power menu, where you can choose to put your computer to sleep, shut it down, or restart it. Now I'll move on to one of my favorite apps, Dropbox. Dropbox is one of the first cloud storage services. File stores in your Dropbox folder are accessible from any device with an internet connection. This includes PCs, Macs, smartphones, and tablets. But of course the device must have the necessary software in order to open the file. The app allows quick access to your account. You only have to sign in the first time, or if you go through the website you have to sign in each and every time. The app even gives you the option to upload files to your Dropbox folder by right-clicking. And the app allows you to share files to Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites by using the share charm, which is another new feature of Windows 8. And now another of my favorite apps, Flipboard. Flipboard is a personalized news magazine. It compiles news stories from all over the internet, from hundreds of different categories and subcategories. The best thing about Flipboard is that it only includes topics to which you subscribe. Politics, sports, science, technology, celebrity gossip, hobbies, movies, music, the list goes on and on. Within each category there are many different subcategories. This allows you to narrow the focus to a more specific topic. At the right is the sports page. As you can see, you can subscribe to any number of sports, and you can also subscribe to all the stories from many different sources. The app also allows you to link your social media accounts to include those updates as well. Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram are just a few. As you can see at the right, I've only linked my Facebook account to my Flipboard page. It's a great one-stop shop for catching up on the day's news and personal interests. And in conclusion, there are many thousands of apps available in the Windows App Store. Games, utilities, social media, sports, shopping, anything you can think of. And as the saying goes, if you can think of it, there's an app for that. When downloaded and installed, the apps can be found and accessed from the start screen, whether you like it or not. The start screen will probably continue to frustrate users wanting the old start menu. For those that are new to Windows or more receptive to change, the start screen is, at worst, not that bad. And at best, it's really quite helpful, especially that new search feature. Well, that'll conclude my presentation. Thank you for listening.